Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to another video. This one's interesting because I'm going to tell you a very easy and surefire way that you could make $8.125 billion in a matter of days. All you need to do is come up with around $52 billion, which is the current market cap of Strategy, buy MicroStrategy, and then liquidate all of its Bitcoin holdings, all 650,000 Bitcoin, at the current market price of $92,500, and you will net yourself a tidy sum of $60.125 billion. For those of you out there who are keeping score, yes, that is a profit of $8.125 billion. Now, I get it. It's not that easy. First, you got to come up with $52 billion, which, might be tough for some of us, especially if, you're broke and living in your parents' basement. But why doesn't someone just do this? This seems like a very obvious and easy play. Well, the problem, as always, goes back to TradFi. TradFi is waging a secret war against one of the most important crypto companies in history. This is where JPMorgan enters the story. Analysts and market watchers are now suggesting JPMorgan may be sitting on massive short positions in Strategy, right as the stock has already fallen nearly 70% from its highs. And the timing really is suspicious. Just as Bitcoin pulled back, just as liquidity got thin, that's when JPMorgan published this bearish report warning that Strategy might be removed from the MSCI USA index because more than 50% of its assets are in Bitcoin. Think about that. They open a short position, then they publish FUD out into the universe. Not just FUD, by the way, because this is JPMorgan. They have weight in TradFi. They have weight in that industry. And they're suggesting that Strategy should be removed from the MSCI because over 50% of their company's net worth is in Bitcoin. That is as direct an assault on the New World Order as I've seen. And JPMorgan is the cause of it. On top of that, brokers have increased share lending on MicroStrategy, giving short sellers even more ammunition to push the price down. Here's the bigger picture. Strategy becoming the largest corporate Bitcoin holder was a nightmare scenario for traditional finance. A public company converting its balance sheet into Bitcoin, that is an assault on the old, garbage boomer system, which we want to tear down, which I agree with. But TradFi sees it as a threat. So now, with JPMorgan allegedly shorts, with index providers threatening removal, and with the stock trading below its Bitcoin value, it's a perfect setup to try to force Strategy into a corner. If they can push the stock low enough, they could pressure the company into selling Bitcoin at a discount, which is exactly what TradFi would love. They would weaken Bitcoin, weaken the industry leader, and regain control. But here's the thing that TradFi is miscalculating, like they did way back in the day with GameStop, by the way. This cuts both ways. Because the more short interest builds in Strategy, the more explosive a short squeeze would become. A short squeeze is simple, just a refresher for all of you guys out there. When a heavily shorted stock starts going up, the short sellers are forced to buy it back, no matter the price, to close their positions. That buying pushes the stock higher, which forces other shorts to cover, and the whole thing becomes a really vicious cycle for the people who are stuck in these shorts. We saw it with GameStop in 2021. Reddit started buying up the stock and they would not sell for any price no matter what. And if Citadel Capital hadn't stepped in and Robinhood didn't halt the buying of GameStop on their app, this thing could have gotten much, much worse for TradFi and much, much more beautiful for the Reddit warriors on Wall Street Bets. So what comes next? The next big catalyst is the January 15th MSCI decision. If Strategy stays in the index, the shorts are in trouble. If it gets removed, we could see a lot of forced selling. Some calculations are $2.2 billion in forced selling just from MSCI alone. And if other indexes follow suit, $8.8 billion could be removed in outflows from Strategy. Michael Saylor's already pushed back, reminding everyone that Strategy is not just a Bitcoin holder, it's a software company with an active financial strategy and an entire operating business. But make no mistake, guys, this is now a battleground between TradFi power players and one of the most Bitcoin-heavy companies ever created. Either JPMorgan wins, or they set off the next legendary short squeeze. We're really about to find out. Thank you all for listening, and if you've made it this far, please like, subscribe, comment, and do all those fun things. I really appreciate it. Love you all. Bye.